Welcome back to Trackside with Rides and Drives, a podcast for IndyCar fans. I'm Harvey, and I'm here with Kaz, and we're talking about the qualifying session that just completed at Portland. Kaz, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've got a lot of thoughts, Harvey. I've got a
Oh,
lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of notes. So let's just start running through them, honestly, in no particular order. Colton Herta out in Q1.
I
Who had
know.
that on their bingo card?
Not me. That was kind of shocking. I figured he would be fast six easy. I was looking, at a Pillow award and Herta, top 3 or 4 easy.
Yeah, I was expecting to see him drive a lot more than I did today. And did you watch his? I don't know if when you're watching the interviews in between sessions. Did you watch what he said?
No, I missed that.
He essentially just said he felt like going from the hards, which ran really well this morning, onto the softs, he just didn't have the grip that other people seem to have. He looked really dejected and honestly a little confused. Like he seemed like he didn't know what happened.
That's interesting. I mean, I know the softs were significantly faster for everybody. We're talking, I want to say at least 2 seconds a lap, almost 3 seconds a lap quicker on the soft tires.
So I don't know about the other sessions, but in Q1, Group One, Pillow found an extra second when he put on the soft tires when he changed from the hards to the softs, and Power found an extra 3/4 of a second.
Huh.
So not quite 2-3 seconds a lap, but still, quite a lot faster.
Right.
So it's really strange that Colton would go from hard, he was running great in practice this morning. I think he ran a soft strategy in his qualifying session. I don't think he ran the hards in qualifying at all. Um, I don't know why his weren't.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing that comes out of that is now he has more softs for the race, and you only have to run the hards one session. And if you're going to be a second a lap, 3/4 of a lap faster on the softs, then good, right?
Absolutely. And well, we talked to Jeff before qualifying, and he let us know that on this particular track, your qualifying position is not necessarily as important as it is on some tracks. Herta is
Right.
still starting 13th.
Yeah,
He
that's a
talks
ways
about
down.
loving this track. I know 13 is a ways, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could climb back up to the podium. It would have to be a really
Yeah,
great race from him,
I
but
mean,
Andretti has put in those kinds of performances before.
right. And the biggest thing they're going to have to do is get through turn one, lap one.
Hmm.
In the middle of the pack there, that's a really dangerous place to be on a corner like that.
It's such a dangerous spot. All you have to look to is, and I know we're talking different tracks, but look to last week when Rosenquist got taken out. He had qualified in the Fast Six, but wound up with a penalty and got knocked back. If he hadn't have been starting in the middle there, he
Hmm.
probably would have been able to get away free and clear. Herta's going to have to watch out for that for sure.
Yeah. How about Rosenquist today and that Grateful Dead
Yay!
livery on the front row?
Oh,
That's,
I was so happy. I was beaming the whole time.
yeah, I know because you were disappointed when you didn't get to see much of that car last week in at Laguna.
Starting in open air. He will be starting on the front row. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's starting in second position. So as long as he can just keep clear of Pato through turn one, hopefully he'll be pretty safe to be able to execute his race as he wants. He looked great. I really, maybe it's just nostalgia and blind hope, but I really expect a lot of good things from him this weekend.
Yeah, well, already, he's done good things today. So,
Yeah.
we'll check out practice this evening and see where people come out. But I don't think that's as important as obviously what just went down with the qualifying. I don't know. And then the other kind of surprise is where Will Power ended up. I mean, not that he doesn't haven't had success at this track. He has, but now to see him third considering what Penske's done over the last few weeks, that's a pretty good improvement. So, we'll see how their race pace is.
It's a good improvement for him. Joseph qualified ninth. The
Hmm.
grid penalty knocks him down to 15th, but he looked pretty solid as well. He also seemed incredibly disappointed about not making the Fast Six, and I get it. I would be too. But honestly, for him, ninth is not terrible given
Right.
where he's been. And it is impressive that Penske was able to pull off an engine swap between practice two and qualifying.
Right. I mean, well, that's what those guys do. They're
Yeah,
really good mechanics.
you
So,
got to do what you have to do, but they pulled it off. They made it work pretty flawlessly. Again, Joseph looked really solid most of the time. It just seemed on that final lap he just couldn't find it. That
yeah.
happens sometimes. Um,
It-
McLaughlin not making the Fast 12 is obviously a disappointment for Penske, but I think that they look a little better this week
yeah.
than they
I mean,
have been.
I
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised to see two of the three Penskes in the top 10 at the
Sure.
end of this race. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised where willpower is right now to see him battling for the victory come the end of the race, as good of a race strategist as he is.
Yeah, that's when we're talking about willpower, that's absolutely it. He knows what to do wherever he is, and he's not afraid to take chances. So I think if you get him in the right mindset on the right day on a track that he loves, he's got every chance of starting third or fourth. Sorry,
Um, Power is starting third. He
Power starting
qualified.
third. Yeah,
He qualified
qualified fourth.
for starting
Qualified
third.
fourth, starting third. Yeah,
Right.
no reason he can't be up there fighting for it the whole time, especially on a track that he loves.
Yeah. It's just again, can Penske avoid the dumb mistakes and the things that have held them back this season? So we'll see.
The Penske of it all.
Yeah.
Another team that you've talked about a couple of times on the podcast, Harvey, is Rahal Letterman.
Hmm.
Not a single driver in the Fast 12,
No, I know. DeFrancesco is 12th, but only because of grid penalties.
only because of
So
grid penalties.
yeah, and to see Graham Rahal down in 22nd, I mean that this is a track he likes. He's qualified well here in the past. I am really interested to see what's going to happen with these guys. Come the off season and what they're going to have to do to get their house in order to be more competitive as they move forward.
Yeah, they've got to put some pieces together because as of right now, I think I said a few weeks ago, they're not making any impression at all. And that continues.
Right.
They're going to get left behind if they continue behaving this way.
I mean,
Um,
you look at just look at the top five. You've got, a McLaren, Meyer Shank, Penske, Foyt, and Ganassi. And Ed Carpenter is six. So you've got six different teams represented in the top six. And um, I mean, first of all, Andretti's not there, which is kind of surprising. But
a little bonkers.
yeah, RLL not being there also is it. That's not surprising because they haven't been that good this year.
That's what I was going to say. Andretti not being there is surprising, and we can look at that as a fluke.
Right.
RLL not being there is no surprise. This is what they've been delivering for us all season. And also, just as a side note, I didn't notice that we had six different teams represented in the top six until you pointed it out. That is so cool.
Yeah, it would have been
It would have been five
five, but
because we had the two McLarens at the
two
front.
McLarens, but that's okay. I mean, so and again, that's the thing I love about IndyCar. It is so competitive among the teams. You don't have that one dominant team that just runs away with everything. Yes, Palou and Ganassi seem to be winning everything, but if there were such a thing as a team championship, I think it would be very close if they actually did that.
I'd be interested to kind of add up some driver points and see what that works out to. I think you're right. I can easily imagine McLaren being points ahead of Ganassi.
Yeah, I mean the reason you can't do it in IndyCar is because you have some two-car teams and some three-car teams. So you can't really have a team championship that way if you don't have same number of drivers and all that consistently.
Ultimately, I'm happy they don't as well. I like the drivers being teams unto themselves. I don't like team strategy. I don't like when it's time to sacrifice a driver to back up the field. It's less fun for me.
Right, right. Yeah, this is and if you have teammates running against each other in the race, they're running against each other in the race.
They're gonna race.
Yeah, and no, they aren't going to take each other out if they can avoid it. They're like any teammate, but you're not going to have the team orders. Well, you can't. It's illegal in IndyCar. You
Hmm.
cannot have team orders. You can't tell one driver to pull over to let the team's points or championship leader get the lead. That's against the rules, and I like that.
It makes me happy to see. It's just more fun. We're
Yeah.
gonna race more.
Yep. Yep. What other notes did you have?
This is just kind of I don't know that this needs discussion. It's just a bummer that Q1 session one ended. I know the last
Yep.
lap for everybody was really exciting, but it's always just kind of a little bit of a like sigh whenever something silly, red flaggy cuts us off from, we had a lot of drivers working up momentum for their last laps. They had to
Right.
stop. Maybe their tires weren't quite ready. I don't know if maybe that had something to do with Herta's performance at the end. Maybe he wasn't able to get a lap that he was feeling good about. Again, in his interview, it didn't really seem like that was a big issue for him, but it's possible. It just bumps me out whenever we get a situation where we don't get to actually just finish based on driving merit. I know that's racing,
Mm-hmm.
but
Hang on. Jeff's computer died. So
oh
he can't
no.
log in. So he'll join us on the post race podcast.
Well, and we can have Jeff email in his predictions. If they're not in by the end of us recording, that's fine. We will promise you guys that he got them into us before the race started. And, you're just going to have to take our word for it. And then the last thing I just wanted to mention, did you see the Firehawk sauntering around?
No, I missed that. What did he do?
Oh, like just a the difference in the way he was walking here and at Roto, there was so much saunter. It was just really, he was having a really great day. He was pointing at people. He was, doing,
Is it?
he's having a great day.
I wonder what the temperature's like in Portland. I wonder if it's a little cooler than it was at Road America.
God, I hope so, because that suit looks hot. Although my husband did want me to refrain from spoiling the fun for everybody. It's not a suit. The Firehawk is just hot because he's a Firehawk, and that's the way it works.
Okay. There you go.
Nick said not to spoil the mystery. He said there may be children listening.
There you go. No, there are no children listening.
Nor
There's
should there
nobody
be.
listening to this podcast right now. So hopefully we've got 4 or 5 of you listening. But yeah, if you are, please leave us a note. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We really like doing this, and we really hope you and more people keep joining us every week.
And speaking of joining us, we are ready to start our prediction game. We'll see how this works out, do a couple of tests for the last 2 races of the season, and be ready to launch for actual points and bragging rights next season.
There you go.
And we're really happy to have fans play along. So please follow along, think about what your picks would be, and hopefully next season we'll be able to work that in. All right, so diving right in, let's start with the podium. Harvey, who do you have at P3?
At P3, I am going to say Pato O'Ward is going to finish 3rd in this race.
Do you want to talk about why or just make it? You don't need
I
to.
mean, I think he was fast enough to be there. I think he is going to be fighting right to the end, but I just see a couple of people who are going to be racier in this come the end of the race.
Very good. Yeah, I thought about Pato at P3. I struggled between 3 drivers here. I'm going to end P3 with Will Power. That's where I'm going. He didn't look as amazing as I know he can, but he knows and loves this track. I think he knows that Penske needs something, and he's the guy with the experience to be able to do it in this place. I think it's going to work out for him. Mainly, it's just a vibe. I look forward to seeing him race tomorrow.
Good.
Who do you have at P2, Harvey?
Well, this one will surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Felix Rosenquist finishing where he starts. I
Yay.
think Meyer Shank is due for a big day. I think he drove really well today. He's looked good in practice. I think this is going to be their weekend. So I'm looking forward to seeing that car on camera a lot tomorrow.
Awesome. I've got one that might be a little surprising for my P2 as well. I look, starting P5, Alex Pillow is easily going to climb his way up a couple of positions. I don't have him on the top step for
Yeah.
reasons that will become clear. But
Okay.
I think we've got Pillow finishing second.
All right. So why don't you give me your podium now, and then I'll give you your top step, and I'll give you
Well,
mine.
the reason I don't have Alex winning the race is because I have Felix Rosenquist winning. Maybe it's bias. No, it definitely is bias. But you're right. He was driving so great today. He drove great last week too. Just because his race didn't work out, we can't ignore how well he did last week. So he's been looking really good. And I just think that I think there's some magic in that car.
That's great.
It's going
That's
to be
great.
fire on the mountain.
We will find out. Yeah, a little sugar magnolia, you know. I uh I have another surprise at the top step of the podium. I
Who do
have
you got, Harvey?
willpower. I
What?
have Penske's first win of the season. I have power, you know, playing it smart. I have the team making the right calls. I think Pelot doesn't make the podium for one of the rare times this season.
Well, Harvey, I like Will a lot. I'd be super happy to see that result. So let's hope we had some luck on our podiums. Either one of those would be really fun for me to watch. I'm wishing luck to everybody. Now, let's talk about the drivers further down the grid. Who do you think is going to move up the most?
Well, I think the biggest mover is it's going to come from way down in the grid, in my estimation. And
Mm.
I think Santino Ferrucci is going to make some big moves through the race, and probably he'll finish in the top 10.
Okay, sure. Yeah, look, Santino, again, his interviews after the fact, he seemed angry in the right way.
Hmm.
The kind of way that's going to fuel you to drive harder. We know that he is a guy who doesn't drive like he's afraid.
Right.
So for him starting all the way back there, you're right. That creates a lot of opportunity for him to move up. I'm going to go with Kyle Kirkwood
Ah,
for my biggest mover. He's starting at 19th.
yep.
He's had a largely really great season.
Hmm.
It's unusual to see him so far back. And we know he's in a really solid car. Andretti had some weird issues during qualifying today, but I don't think they're not going to pull it together.
Yeah. The other one I could see making a big move is Kiffin Simpson. He was
Sure.
quick throughout. So, but I'm going to stick with Ferrucci.
And I'm going to stick with Kirkwood.
All right. So,
All right. Well, that's the good news. Who's having a bad day? Who's the biggest bust tomorrow for you?
oh boy, that's a good question. Um, and this is going to be probably someone who has an incident in turn one or something like that. I
Hmm.
don't think I don't think you're going to see a top driver drive a bad race. So, this is just going to be a dumb luck pick. And I'm going to say that the driver who is going to be the biggest bust tomorrow is Scott Dixon.
Oh, Scott, what a
Sorry.
pro. I also feel really bad about mine. I don't see Alexander Rossi finishing in the top 10 with the
Mhm.
amount of people who are starting below him, who I know are capable of moving up. Um, his best finish in the last five races is 15.
Right.
His best finish on the season is 8. I just don't see him. I can see him falling quite a bit. And I do think you're right. Actually, the biggest bust point is actually probably going to come from a midfield driver DNFing, and
Right.
that's it. Uh, but if we're talking about drivers who did finish the race, I think he would be the biggest bust.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's great to see him up there. It's great to see Ed Carpenter Racing have a big day
Hmm.
like that. But you're right. He's probably going to struggle to maintain track position with all those Ganassi, Andretti, Penske, and other cars right behind him.
And I'm sad to say it because I like Rossi. I think he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah,
that's where we are.
yeah. So,
There's no love in IndyCar. What can
all,
you do?
all right. So, who is your bad boy of the race? Who's
Who's
the
the
one?
bad boy?
Who's the one who's gonna make the biggest mess
Well,
of
this
things?
is actually goes back to something that we just talked about. I think Santino Ferrucci is hungry
Mhm.
and angry, and he could mix it up in a way that causes some incidents. So I think that at the end of the race tomorrow, I'm going to be thinking, Santino, you were kind of bad.
Okay.
Where
Uh,
are you?
well, I am again, I'm same way looking at someone who's going to be trying to come up through the pack. And so I think the driver who's really going to try to make himself heard is Stingray Rob.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
Maybe they'll be bad together, and then we each get a point. They are starting right next to each other.
I know, I
Who
see that.
knows? And then, Harvey, we do have one final pick to make. And this is the fun one. This is the gamble.
Ah,
Predict whatever you want, and I'm going to assign a point value to it. I'll predict whatever I want, and you assign a point value to it. If we're right, we get those points.
all right. Here's my prediction for the race tomorrow.
Hmm.
All 27 cars are going to finish the race.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Look, I don't think that that's wildly likely with the turn one
I
situation.
know.
So I'm going to tell you that if you get that right, you can have 7 points.
Ooh, I'll take 7 points.
You can have 7 points if I, and honestly, I wouldn't even be mad to give them to you because that would be such a great way to end the day.
Yeah. So what's
Um,
your crazy pick of the race?
I made this pick after the Fast 12 was settled, not before the Fast 12 ran. So, and I thought about changing it after the Fast 12, and then I said, you know what? No, stick with your guns. All three Penske drivers finish in the top 10.
Ooh,
We've
that,
got Newgarden starting at 15. We've got McLaughlin starting at 12 and Power up top.
you know what?
I think that this could be the race where they all finish in the top 10.
I'm giving you 10 points for that.
Yay. Okay,
If
cool. Let's see.
if they
Let's see how
do
we
it,
go.
you get 10 points. I said two would finish in the top 10. So, or
You
they
did. I
could.
thought you were going
So,
to lowball me based on
no,
when you said that. I
no.
was like, oh, Harvey's not going to give me a lot of
I'll,
points
I'll
then.
I'll
Okay,
give you
great.
10 points if three Penske cars finish in the top 10.
Well, that would really be a boost on the season, especially given that we only have 2 races to play with.
That's right. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. We'll see what happens with our predictions tomorrow. I think we're going to see a great race tomorrow. There's a lot of
Yeah, no
different
doubt.
strategies up for play and a couple of cars out of position that are going to make things interesting.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Cannot wait for this race tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We hope you join us again tomorrow after the race for the podcast then. And until that time, we are Trackside with Rides and Drives, and we hope you visit the website and leave us a comment on any of our social channels.
Thanks for being here, Harvey. I really appreciate having someone to answer my random thoughts.
All right. We will see everyone tomorrow. Have a great race, everybody.
Enjoy the race, guys. It's going to be a great one.